Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Rams multiplayer game from the Reddit Discord. As always, joined by my co-host Blackmane. Blackmane, how's it going?
Good, good.
I know it's been a little while since we've taken a look at this game. Had some trips and some illness and all sorts of excuses, but might take us a minute to get our feet under us. So bear with us, audience. So turn 21, a messenger from Phaeacia. I have no idea where Yiscat province is. I'm just gonna ravage their coast.
All right.
Interesting message,
Uh,
considering we pin the maps in the channels for the
mhm.
games that we host. But I guess that's one strategy. And let's jump into it. Uh, Ryu here cleaning up some indies.
Oh, Shinu
Oh,
attacking
okay.
me?
This is a bounce. So
Ah, yeah.
this is the province, and then Shinu comes in and tries to take it at the same time. Goes poorly for Shinu. Kappas aren't cheap. They're not great and they're not cheap. So,
Yeah,
not ideal.
not a good trade for him.
Yeah. And here's that strategy by Phaeacia, just pushing into yes. TC cleaning
And
up
they
some indies as well.
and they're using those mercs separately.
Yep, which is ideal. Okay, here's yes starting to push back a little.
So back and forth raiding there. Haven't really seen any big battles yet.
No, nothing yet. And here we've got Ulm versus Asphodel. Here's Ulm cleaning up. Seems to be a leftover from maybe that fight on the fort.
Um,
Oh, yeah, TC moving in on Flagra.
yeah, definitely the right play.
Ooh,
I don't think Flagra will last very long here at all.
yeah, that's a lot of crossbows. Oh, this was probably a throne, right?
Looks like it.
Leveraging the god to take down a throne. That's helpful. Ooh,
Oh no.
that's not ideal.
Had his his commander sniped clearly.
Yeah, but sniped by barbs? How do you get sniped by barbs? Oh, they're just gonna,
It's snuck.
yeah, just
Yeah,
too
there's
many
two
of them.
groups. No, actually, no. Wait, what?
Oh, this I hate.
That bug.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, this is the official results of the battle. The view battle is a interpretation, I guess you could call it, of the possible outcomes.
Yeah, it uses to generate the outcome. It kind of replays it like a seed. It doesn't actually save the battle. It just saves the battle seed and then re-simulates it.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
so one of the barbs must have snuck around and
Yeah,
hit
in
the
the actual
master
battle.
smith. Yeah. He's
Well, I know
Atlantis.
actually what might have happened. Was there an update? I think there might have been an update to Dominions in
Yeah,
between.
potentially.
Yeah. I'm just killing Willier. Oh, Rigo attacked and won. Hilarious. That's why you
Yeah.
never leave 0 PD, guys.
Here's yes, and a little raiding back and forth. Here's that large Atlantis army. Some more raiding. Indie attack. Okay.
Yeah.
So not a
So nothing,
ton.
yeah,
Um,
just a lot of raiding.
yep, so Ulm is back on that fort that Asphodel flipped when they killed Ulm's god. They haven't broken through yet, it doesn't look like. And then TC, oh yeah, moving significant forces in on Flagra. Let's see what Flegra can muster in response.
Not
And
much, that
then,
looks.
yeah, a whole lot of raiding back and forth between Yis and Phasia. Oh, interesting. Phasia's god is in the field. Yis has got a large army here. Expect something
Which
here, maybe.
Dominion is this? It might be Phasian Dominion?
Yeah, fair and balanced. Fair and balanced, yep.
But the Dominion, I think, is also Phasian. It's a lot to tell. I think it is.
Yeah, yeah. The Dominion's
Yeah.
Phasia. And then where Yis's forces are is Yisian Dominion.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not a. I guess there's quite a bit that Phasia can gain off this, but it's going to be very awkward then to figure out what to do with years afterwards.
Yeah, because I don't think they're digging them out anytime soon. They're certainly
No.
slowing them down.
It's
But
just a lot of raiding back and forth, but no real engagement.
yeah, yeah. If I'm Phasia, I almost like try to piece something out with Yes and then scoop up some scraps from Flegra.
Yeah. So the big problem Phasia has is that they can raid on the coast really well. They're pretty good on land, but they always start next to water, and they're just not great.
Yep.
For actually going in amphib. Much prefer to be someone like Zabalba in this situation, where you could actually just push and kill years if you were Zabalba here. But sadly, I have to play this raiding game a bit longer.
Yep. Anything else to see before we step into the next turn?
No, maybe we could have a quick look at the Shambhala Ryuga line. Just see where they're positioning their forces.
They
Oh,
don't seem to be positioning any forces, so I'm assuming they've come to some sort of peace terms.
they might have pieced out, which may explain that 0 PD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that huge Shamba army is moving. Who knows where? I'd
Back.
assume maybe towards this throne.
Yeah, Sham moving back, and
And then,
Ryugo's god is off
yeah.
taking. Yeah, so
Oh, decent throne for them.
oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be glad to have that.
Yep. So we'll move along now, and
Yep.
let's see if this works. Yes, it did. Okay. So, Shamba scouting that throne.
It's a bit more intimidating. There's not much mages on it, so it's a bit better, but definitely harder than the one that Ryugo just took. Or
Yes,
raiding.
yeah, but this army's getting a little larger. We got 27 knights in it now. Some indies. Ooh, bad bump for Ryuga.
Oh,
Was that another? Oh, another indie province. Okay.
wow. Bakemono worked very well against the Mukuas here.
Yeah, and this is actually surprising because that Hellbless is online now.
Did he not bless them?
He did not.
He did not
This
bless.
is not a priest.
Is it muted? No?
No.
Oh. I thought they were priests for some reason. Mistake.
So
Well, that
that
explains
makes
it.
a whole lot of sense. That second shape that we hadn't seen a lot of before, but so 2 HP pools essentially on these guys. Yeah, makes them pretty strong, but you get a lot of these attacks in a square, and without your bless online, it's not going to do much.
Not quite strong enough to deal with it.
Yep. Yeah, more rating. Put in a little bit of a hurt. That's not cheap to lose those 2 druids. A raiding party caught out by a Asphodel response and maybe a little bit of a PD dump here.
Yeah, big PD dump. Checking the cap.
Ooh.
Oh, this battle we need to
Oh,
watch.
that is one-sided.
Very.
It's a huge number of Minotaurs. This is going to be expensive for Asphodel. Oh, they got lucky, actually. Those commanders are kind of off by themselves. Almost got sniped,
Oh, yeah.
but survived.
What are they going to do? Magma
Oh, Magma
Warriors.
Warriors.
Good play. This is a great unit. They might be still a little too close. We might see a little bit of friendly fire occurring here.
Yeah, they got caught up on the horse archers there.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. Just the PD type causes problem. Nevertheless, it's a great play. Magma Warriors.
Yeah, they're holding up pretty well, it appears.
Yeah, really great counter because of that fire shield.
Yeah, a little bit of HP, fire shield. Um, this is impacted by province temperature, right?
It is, and I think we're in cold,
Yeah, it looks like
summer
we're in
kind of
cold.
cold, so that's probably not doing that much. But honestly, it's probably a boon because then he's not going to set his own troops on fire much either.
Yeah.
Really, the benefit here is that fire shield because it just unless you have fire res, it's actually a really good counter to have a hoof attack.
Oh, because the hoof is length 0.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and those Minotaurs are just weren't able to get trampled because Ulm actually they brought a significant force of infantry this time. Yeah, and looks like Asphodel's routing here. Probably a HP route. Because those, yeah, the Minotaurs were...
Still sticking in, but
Yeah, the commanders are.
yeah, we can see now there's some friendly fire. Unfortunately, they probably lost more units to the friendly fire. Still,
Yeah.
definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, that's a huge win for Ulm here. We'll take a quick glance. Yeah, now they've cleaned up the trash. The mages are fatigued out on the Asphodel side. And these guardians are going to make quick work of what's left.
Yeah, this is going to be brutal. Once the Celia Eye gets those Magma Warriors past the Guardians, they're stuck on them and the Guardians keep falling asleep. It's very unfortunate.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah. That might be it for Asphodel.
It's very bad. Also, a lot of mages lost.
Huge number of mages for Asphodel for this, considering how small they are. And no mages lost for Ulm. Not even many guardians. A few black. That's a huge win.
Yeah.
Well played by
Ulm.
Ulm.
Definitely, and I'm glad that our prediction seems to be coming true, which is that Ulm has just been managed to outproduce. It's just kind of a macro game. Even though they had those losses, they didn't use their god that effectively. It just doesn't matter because they're just bigger, have more forts, better units.
Yeah, good for Asphodel trying something different, but I think it caught up with them. Oh, and here we go. Ryu got into Rely.
Yeah, I think really is done. Still a bit of indie clearing. An actual fight.
Yeah. Not a huge
the Raiders.
commitment from Faisha here, but they probably still lost. Yeah, these guys are not cheap, actually.
Pretty expensive, yeah. So that's, what, 400 gold versus... Actually, it's not...
It's not
It's like a
terrible.
relatively even trade, yeah. It's
Yeah.
funny. Definitely a loss, but yeah, could have been worse.
And then some indie rating here. Okay. So here we are, turn 22. Let's take a look at the map here. Shamba only moved like a token force up here and scouted that throne. I wonder that token force the whole. it might actually struggle a little bit with that throne, right?
Yeah,
Without
I
some more
mean,
mage support.
the throne was a little bit spicy. There was a lot of AoE damage here from the fire snakes. Dust walkers are quite a good unit, although they are heat power, and I think it's cold 3, so that probably helps. Cold 2.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see, I guess, if he moves in next turn.
yeah, and then
Thrones are one of those things where often they're a lot weaker than they look just because the indies aren't scripted
mhm.
until you get a Titan of the Heavens that casts Living Air 4 times on you, Living Clouds. Yeah.
Yeah, I expect ult to storm back here. Oh,
Yeah, it
did
doesn't look like there's
TC
much left as for.
TC did not move on Flagra,
Mm,
right? Yeah, interesting.
no, they might have been expecting some. It looks like they're expecting a counter.
Yeah, looks like they may have consolidated their forces into this province and then we'll
Yeah, to try
move.
and catch,
We'll
which
see.
makes sense because uh, they might have expected Flagra to try to raid back or catch them in the cap while taking the province or something like this.
Yeah.
But I think they might be overestimating Flagra a little in this situation. Unfortunately, Flagra is very small army.
Yep. We'll do a quick
That said, yeah. Mm-hmm.
graphs overview and then maybe one more turn for this video.
Sure.
Provinces, no major surprises here. Um, yeah, Ryuga is just breaking into third. Forts, TC continues to have this tremendous advantage. We'll see if they can turn it into power. It is a little tricky. Some people, I think, invest a little bit too heavily in mages and research and don't focus enough on winning a war. Wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I always say is that the point of research is to win you the game. And so whenever you are researching, it should always be with some aim to have some particular tying target to win that next war, to ultimately win the game. If you're just researching for the fun of researching, well, then you're not actually using it, right?
Yeah.
You don't just become stronger by having research. It doesn't work like that. You have to actually use that research for something.
Income.
But TC is definitely using it. Well, I mean, they're not really they don't have many majors in the field, but they're definitely doing the right thing. They're eating the weakest player.
Yep.
Looks good for them.
The gen income is looking pretty good for TC. Who is that yellow line? Oh, Shamba. Okay, interesting. A major
Shane's
spike.
begun some serious. That's probably a big remote site search.
And then research. TC, as we mentioned, was quite low, but it does look like they are turning that fort advantage into a research advantage. Expect them to keep
Yeah.
climbing. And then
Who's that
Ulm
at the top?
is also.
Relay?
No, I believe it's Atlantis, right? No, oh, it's not. Yes, it is Relay.
Actually, a kind of perfect example, isn't it? Because Atlantis is lower research than Relay, but we've seen that Atlantis is pushed straight for Con 5 and is using that research on its mages, and so it's really dominating that war. While Relay is not really using mages yet.
Yep.
So that research advantage is doing nothing for them.
Okay, here we go. Turn 23. Flagra's got a new prophet. And let's see what we've got. More raiding.
Alrighty.
Relay's pushing back into
Yeah.
Atlantis. Good to
Okay,
see.
we have some slave mages. I have to eat my words
Oh,
immediately.
this is an expensive loss for Atlantis. What
I got
happened?
caught out with just one. They must have just been moving it. Oh, I think it's actually. Is it muted? Feeble minded?
Yep.
Feeble minded. So yeah, it's worthless, which is why they were just throwing it away.
Yep.
Sorry, could you check whether the relay has water gems on the slave mages? Because that means he's at Conch 5 now, so he is actually.
Yes.
He does, yes. So I eat my words. Good on Relay now, fighting back with those water elementals.
Ooh.
Straight onto the cap.
Yep.
Very confident.
Yep. Should see a big battle next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. TC into Flagra. Nothing
Clean victory.
surprising here.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Wow, that's an expensive force from Flagra. Took out those mercenary companies.
Yeah, no big loss. Yep, as predicted, Orm pushing in now.
And then some indie attacks. I know I might actually eat my words. This was a pretty simple turn. Should we take a look at turn 24?
Yeah, let's do another.
Yeah, okay. We'll just breeze over that turn as not a whole lot happened, folks. I'm
I
excited
haven't
to
really seen
see.
much. Sorry, no, you go ahead.
I'm excited to see this Flagra TC battle. I feel like we've been missing something with Flagra's strategy, and we may see it here with that
That would be
ethereal
cool.
bless.
That would be very cool to see.
Okay, some raiding back and forth.
Were they actually pushing out now?
Oh, here we go.
Wow. Just pure Gigantes. Managed to catch, looks like some reinforcements coming up.
Yeah, a decent chunk of reinforcements. I would have actually expected the Sacreds from TC to do a little bit better here. What do you think happened? With
I think it's
quickness?
a pure quickness bless.
Yeah. Just not enough damage output?
I think just, yeah, probably not enough damage output.
Oh, they've got nets.
Uh,
So that lowered it enough for them to get the hits in. To lower that defense. Because these guys don't have awesome stats, yeah. Oh, but also once they're berserked, right? Yeah.
yeah, then they get pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to be. Oh no, they don't have nets. I think that might have been a
Yeah, it might
friendly
have been
fire or a mage from
yeah,
somewhere.
the mage with a web. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, twice born going for those
And
white
I think the
mages,
bless was undead regen.
but they still, but they're not sacred
Oh, okay.
unless you put a shroud on, which would be a little unusual.
But it is an option,
Okay,
right?
yeah. So again, maybe there's Dominions has some many strange and wonderful tactics,
Okay,
which
so it
no
looks
one
like
knows everything about it.
the Cav held long enough, but I think because these guys got around, they're gonna get
Yeah,
to the
some snap.
commanders.
Let's see. They might be just going for a flank. That'll
Yep,
work
here they
too.
go. They're gonna take out some of these
Yeah.
commanders.
Tonk. Yeah, one hit immediately killed.
Yeah, and that's gonna cause the rout. Yep.
Well done by Flagra. They managed to get
Yeah.
a victory there.
It's not a cheap loss either for TC. Obviously TC quite a bit larger, but
Yeah, I think TC can afford that loss, but
yeah.
it's good to see them fighting back. I was a bit worried they would just roll over, but
Yep.
they're putting up a defense.
Asphodel trying to push back, but they can't have much left in the tank.
Yeah, they're trying to raid, but Orm is doing some good counter raiding now.
What is this underwater? How is
Looks like it.
Shamba getting
It's a
underwater?
pond. Well, we have the
Oh, the
Bluefire's mod
Bluefire.
on.
Yeah. There we go. One of the
Great.
advantages.
yeah, good to see people going using the new mod mechanics.
Oh wow, that's a huge rating
Oh,
force. This is 2,000 gold. This is dangerous and excessive, I would say.
yeah, totally unsupported by mages.
Well, these are technically mages, and they can
I
sail, so
know.
you've got some
I
mobility
guess that's
to it.
true.
But still, that's risky. Don't want to get caught out with 2,000 gold.
Yeah, with this force marching around. I'd be very tempted to if I was Atlantis, I'd be extremely tempted to gem bait that force.
Yep,
Let me see if he does. More winds form.
that may be a recurring theme here. Okay, so let's take a look at what's left of Asphodel here. Things are not looking so hot. We have Ulm significantly in their cap circle. They have no additional forts. Yeah,
Yeah, just down to the cap now. Not looking great for them.
yeah. And Ulm quite healthy. Can continue sending in more and more forces. Yeah. It was a good try. It was interesting to see someone play Asphodel a little bit differently. Um, I'm not sure I agree with it, but kudos
Yeah, it's
for her.
a great attempt.
Yeah. A couple of wild cards just want to touch on. Shinu. What are they doing? What can they do?
It's really unclear at the moment. They had such a good start, but then they had some really bad
They had a
indie
couple bad
bumps.
bumps or bounces.
Yeah. And now they're just not involved in the war. Hopefully they're pushing some research target. That might be what they're doing to try to bounce back. But they'll have to be careful because they didn't really involve themselves. It's like you were saying earlier, if you just sit there and you research and you don't fight any wars, then you can end up becoming irrelevant.
Yep.
And if we look at who their neighbors are, TC, Ulm, these aren't the neighbors that they can easily defeat 1v1.
Yeah, even if they do hit some research target, they're still.
Yeah, they really need to, do a joint effort there. So
Yeah, maybe they can
risky
work
from
something out
Shinu.
with Shamba. Shamba's another wild card, I would say.
Yeah, now that they're no longer held up fighting Ryugo, that would definitely be a good fight to take for Shamba and Shinu to attack TC, for example.
Mhm. Especially while the majority of TC's forces are deployed down in Flagra.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I mean, TC is starting that research ramp, but I think there's a vulnerability here now, as we saw, where the quickness sacreds are no longer that dominating. Quickness drops off pretty quick as a bless.
Yeah, and they're spring powered
Mm.
also, and we're in spring, I believe, right?
Mm,
And they still didn't even
yeah.
perform. Yeah.
I mean, Gigante are big, scary warriors. I mean, how much do
Yeah,
they?
it's a lot of
65.
hit
Actually,
points.
yeah. But actually, just not that much more gold than a red guard. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that is doable. Um, but we'll have to see whether these players are, they're being too passive or whether they now converted into a good war.
Oh,
I think
look
there's
at
still time to
this.
stop the snowball.
Phaeacia was able to crack that fort with that large
Ah,
army.
so we might see a fight in the next episode.
Yeah, it's possible.
That would be good. There's too much raiding and not enough substance in this war right now.
Yeah, and that was my follow-up question. What do you do in this situation if you're Yes? What do you do in this situation if you're Phaeacia?
Well, I think that is, I would say, is favored here
But they have to commit at some
because
point, right? They're just raiding
they
each
have to
other
commit.
back and forth.
Yeah, they're both just ratings. Someone has to make a read and then commit a force to take a victory. And I think the they both kind of have the same goal, which is to take a big victory and then either peace out or take good borders. I think is the most that you can ask for. Maybe Yiz could actually fight Facia directly, but it's such an awkward approach. Unless I'm missing something here.
No,
They're
it
just
is.
joined
It's
by basically one province there.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm not. This is a strange war. I think that Facia is probably worried that they're going to get attacked, given their position. Right, you really don't want underwaters in your Indies.
Yeah.
And if they win, they can maybe take a whole bunch of that land and peace out years, and that's a great position for them. But it's so far, both parties are just stuck in this kind of raiding and counter raiding, and it's just not doing anything. They're both just not gaining the advantage, while some of the other nations are actually properly scaling, like TC, like Ulm.
Here's a
I think those
question.
nations would be much better served fighting, for example, who's west of Phasia.
Flagra.
Right. They could be easily vulturing a whole bunch of provinces off Flager right now.
Yep.
But alas. Or even fighting Ulm. They both bought Ulm as well. That would be a great fight to take together. So, Phasia, unfortunately, is in a really bad, just the map has really screwed them over. It's a very bad position for them, which makes things very tricky.
And then looks like Rayuga did not claim the throne with their pretender. They
Huh.
continue to move him. I'd I'd probably claim, right? Like it's worth the pretender turn for the extra income and the bless bonus.
I assume Illidan is sending up. That's the Ryugo player. I assume that he's sending up some profit. He's making a fort, so yeah, probably a profit's coming up and we'll claim it. I think he's
Yeah.
not planning. If he's not planning to fight any wars immediately, then you don't really need the bless immediately.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, I think that's a wrap for this episode. Turn 24, right? But
Great.
yeah, we'll call
So,
it
no
there. Thank you for the time.
problem. Look forward to next one.